New possible animal abuse laws.
Local 5th graders receiving Chromebooks. Hi, I'm Eric Urban.
And I'm Dane Wormlinger, and this is your Public Eye News. Widespread illness and low attendance has caused of the area schools to close today and Wednesday. The schools will readdress the situation on Wednesday to determine the schedule for the rest of the week. If your child is vomiting or has a fever, the school asks you to remain out of school for 24 hours. Please contact the school on Wednesday if your child still has these symptoms and is not ready to go back on Thursday. The Empire and Tilden mines are buying power from the Presque Isle power plant in Marquette again, and Cloverland Electric urges plant owner We Energies to stop collecting SSR payments through Mid-Continent Independent Systems Operator. Brian Manthe, a spokesperson from We Energies, said, quote, "It really is there to help protect the other customers that would remain if, in fact, let's say in a month, the mines decided to leave," end quote. Manthe added that We Energies has filed an argument with the Federal Energy Regulations Commission saying that Cloverland Electric should not have to pay the extra money if the cost allocation of the SSR payments were changed. The sale of Presque Isle Power Plant to UPPCO is expected to be complete this summer.
The latest technology in Chromebooks has made it into Marquette area public schools. An impromptu show and tell took place last night at a school board meeting where students showcased the technological advancements and what they're able to do with computers. Mary Bengry, a teacher at Cherry Creek Elementary, said, quote, "We are reaching students at a level that they understand. We are teaching the same curriculum that we were teaching last year. We were just able to deliver it a bit differently," end quote. 5th graders are happy with the new technology, saying it's more useful and a lot faster. The program's success is most likely to advance the technology to 6th graders next year. Governor Rick Snyder plans to ask the legislature to approve a $28 million increase in the state spending for university operations. The 2% bump is part of a spending plan that will be unveiled Wednesday. If approved, the higher education budget would reach $1.5 billion for the fiscal year starting in October, with $1.4 billion coming from the general fund. Much like last year's higher education budget, Michigan universities would be eligible for increases in operations funding if they meet certain prerequisites. Those metrics are keeping tuitions capped at 2.8%, down from 3.2%.
New legislation up for vote in the Michigan Senate would reclassify and stiffen criminal penalties for people who abuse or mistreat animals. The new legislation would create harsher felony penalties for cases in which 10 or more animals are abused. The current law would extend to cover breachers and pet shop owners as well. A tiered system has been suggested in the Senate to classify degrees of torturing or killing animals. Someone charged with killing or mutilating an animal currently receives up to 4 years in prison. However, with the new legislation, could face up to 10 years. The bills are expected to be approved Tuesday and then sent to the House. Wisconsin grocery shoppers may soon be able to sample small shots of liquor in store. The Assembly Government Operations Committee will vote Tuesday on whether or not retailers with liquor licenses will be able to provide 0.5-ounce samples to their customers. Representative Joel Kish says he sponsored the bill to allow distilleries to compete with breweries and wineries which can offer samples. Kleefish is confident that the bill will pass Tuesday. If approved, the bill will move to a vote in the Assembly. And after the break, we'll have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
And welcome back. Law enforcement officials say 33-year-old Jesse Matthew Jr., already charged with the abduction of the University of Virginia student Hannah Graham, has been indicted on a count of first-degree murder. Matthew was already charged with abduction with intent to defile. The 18-year-old Graham disappeared in September and was found dead in Albemarle County a few weeks later. Matthew also faces 2 counts of reckless driving in the case. Police say forensic evidence also links Matthew to the 2009 disappearance and death of a Virginia Tech student whose body was found in the county. Matthew's first court appearance is set for February 18th. Yesterday's snow here in Marquette was nothing compared to other cities. Boston is digging out again. More than 40 inches has fallen in February, and even more is in the forecast later this week. Marley Hall has the latest from Boston.
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad says his regime is apprised of U.S.-led coalition efforts against ISIS in Syria, not by the Americans, but through third parties like Iraq. Al-Assad said, quote, "Sometimes they convey a message, but there is nothing tactical," end quote. Many Western countries have urged for al-Assad to step down since 2011, when peaceful protests against his regime led to violent government crackdowns and a civil war. Al-Assad denied that his military is using barrel bombs, bombs filled with explosives, nails, and other objects in rebel-controlled areas. After days of uncertainty, the family of Kayla Mueller says they now know what fate of their daughter, who was reportedly killed in a coalition airstrike while being held hostage by ISIS. Craig Boswell has more details from Washington.
French President François Hollande said he is determined for Ukraine peace talks to succeed, but without any certainty, ahead of a planned meeting Wednesday in Minsk between the leaders of Russia, Ukraine, Germany, and France. Hollande said, quote, "It is our common interest to get a global agreement," end quote. He also stressed the economic benefit of resuming normal trade with Russia, considering the intensified fighting in eastern Ukraine. Germany's foreign ministry earlier said talks between senior officials from the four countries to pave the way for the summit of leaders in Minsk will take place this evening. And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to your Public Eye News. I'm Dan Campen, and as you can see outside right now, it's a little bit gray, and it's definitely not looking like it's that warm of a day. So you may want to bundle up if you're going to night classes. Currently, it's cloudy with a temperature of 27 degrees, winds out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour, and a pressure of 30.2 inches and holding. Tonight, we should see some flurries or snow showers with a low of 23 degrees and winds out of the southeast at 9 miles per hour. And tomorrow, we should see more clouds and snow showers with a high of 27 and winds out of the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Let's take a look around the UP. As you can see out in Sault Ste. Marie, we have our only little bit of sun with a temperature of 20 degrees. In Manistee, it's 22 and cloudy. In Escanaba, it's 25. And in Menominee, it is also 25. Over in Iron Mountain, it's 24 degrees and cloudy. It's 26 in Ironwood, 26 in Houghton. And back here in Marquette, it's 27 degrees. Let's take a look at the week ahead. On Thursday, we should have a high of 6 degrees with a low of -1 and some snow showers. On Friday, we'll have a high of 19 degrees and a low of 2 degrees with more snow showers. And on Saturday, we'll have a high of 3 and a low of -3 with, you guessed it, more snow showers. I'm really hoping right now, Floyd, that this weather is just going to bounce back for us. But speaking of that, how are the Pistons doing right now?
The Pistons are hoping to bounce back as well, Dan.
Good stuff.
The Detroit Pistons will take on the Hornets in Charlotte tonight. The Pistons are coming off of a loss on Sunday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, while the Hornets are coming off of a loss of their own against the Indiana Pacers on Sunday. Both teams are still hoping for a playoff spot, and both teams have experienced major injuries to their starting point guards. Detroit lost Brandon Jennings for the rest of the season with a torn Achilles, while the Hornets will be without star guard Kemba Walker, who will miss at least 6 weeks with a torn meniscus in his left knee. The Pistons are 2.5 games behind the Hornets and hope to take a win tonight at 7 p.m. The Detroit Red Wings will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins tomorrow at Consol Energy Center. The Wings are on a roll, winning their last 3 games against the New York Islanders, Colorado Avalanche, and the Arizona Coyotes. The 30-15 Penguins lost their last game 5-0 against the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday. Detroit currently holds a record of 31 wins, 12 losses, and 9 ties, and will look to make their streak 4 wins in a row tomorrow night at 8 p.m. A little trash talk always keeps the NBA interesting. During a high-profile matchup between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Clippers, players Chris Paul and Kevin Durant were caught exchanging a few words. Chris Paul hit a mid-range jumper in the face of one of Durant's teammates and proceeded to stare down Kevin Durant, who was on the bench at the time. Kevin Durant then proceeded to yell at Paul, saying, quote, "You're down 20 though, homie," end quote. Durant was right as his Thunder were up by 20 points at the time and won the game in a blowout win, 131-108. So, Eric, NBA trash talk is heating up. I hear Heinz is heating up as well.
Heinz is heating up. With spicy language in the NBA, you got to have spicy ketchup on the shelves, and that's going to happen in the near future.
Very true.
No more playing ketchup with spicy condiments. Heinz is launching a new ketchup flavor that includes sriracha, the red Thai hot sauce. The Pittsburgh-based company says it will start selling a ketchup blended with sriracha this month. In recent years, Heinz has added jalapeno pepper flavoring and Tabasco sauce to its ketchups. Taco Bell and Pizza Hut have also announced plans to add menu offerings that include sriracha. Ben Crandall will be celebrating his 11th birthday today at a food bank. The Waterloo, Iowa middle schooler says he wants donations of food and money instead of presents. Ben got the idea after driving past a billboard with his mother that says 1 in 5 children doesn't know where his or her next meal is coming from. Ben tells the Waterloo Cedar Falls Courier he's cool with not getting any gifts as long as he's helping out others.
What a generous young man.
Generous guy he is. I mean, not a lot of 11-year-old kids do that or even really think about that. So
Very true. I know
Good
there
for
are a
him.
lot of 11-year-olds who would rather have some video games.
That's true. I mean, I would have at that time, but I don't know. I just got to reevaluate my morals, I guess.
Definitely.
Probably some proud parents right there.
Absolutely,
Very proud
absolutely.
parents.
But thank you for tuning in to Public Eye News today. We will be back tomorrow, and you have a great rest of your day.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.